Guys, how's it going? So as you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be going over why right now I think it's the most opportune time to buy silver, and if you can afford it, definitely gold as well, but most likely you're going to be wanting to buy silver because it's a lot more affordable, and it's basically you can buy a lot more of it, that means. So if we look at this chart here, we could see that silver has been facing a massive sell-off basically for the past 7 years. And why is that? That's because for the last 7 years, it's basically the S&P 500 and the stock market have been rallying. But recently, if we look at this chart here, we can see that silver just recently broke trend. It broke trend and it moved right past its moving average here, which really hasn't been done for like the past year, for the past 2 years actually, since this is 2016. Even in 2016, it didn't really break past. It broke past its 9-day moving average, but it didn't manage to break past its 25 or 50-day moving average here, which it hasn't done yet, but I believe it's going to soon. Anyway, yeah, so it broke past its moving average. We see the price point here for the Dragonfly Doji candles. We can see that it's probably a bullish reversal pattern. So if it's a bullish reversal pattern, you might be asking yourself then, why do we see these massive sell-offs right here in these past 2 months? If we go to or if we switch the candlestick time frame here, let's say we go to the 1-day time frame, we can see that in the past few months, it's definitely been selling off a lot. And even just last week, Friday, it's been selling off a lot. So why do we see that if we are expecting a bullish reversal? Well, actually, if we look at this chart over here, this is the S&P 500 chart. Now, I believe that during recessions, silver actually has like propensity to go up, and that's actually shown here in this other chart, which is the chart for the 2008 to 2009 recession. This is for silver as well. Now if we look at this chart, sorry, I just flipped to this chart, I meant to flip to this one. Now if we look at this chart here, we see massive sell-offs occurring for silver, and that's because it's also an industrial metal, not just a precious metal. So it's being used in the industry. If the stock market isn't doing too well, companies aren't doing too well, then they're not going to be needing as much silver, so we're going to see massive sell-offs here. But since it's also a precious metal, towards the end of the recession, and in fact in the middle towards the end, because we see a break trend here and we see it start to rally towards the end of the recession, which is often considered June or July 2009, which is over here. Now, during the middle of the recession and the beginning of the recession, we see massive sell-offs of silver here, absolutely massive. It's closing here at $17.25, and then it closes here at $9.73, which is absolutely huge. That's almost a 50% drop in the price of silver. But then we see it start to rally towards the end of the recession. We see it recover all of its losses before the end of 2009 there. So if we go back to this chart here, this is the current charts and this is the 1 month candles here. We can start to see maybe a possibility of this massive sell-off occurring, which could also be a sign of a recession. Now, why would there be a recession? Because if you've been following news lately and like looking at stock charts, we see that the stock market for the most part has been going up, this is the S&P 500 chart here. So why is there a chance of recession? Well, if you remember, at the end of 2018, starting in October, we can see massive sell-offs taking place in the stock market. We can see that the S&P 500, it closes at a year low right here at 2,500, actually less than $2,500. So why then did it start to rally here? If it's breaking trend and it's starting a downward momentum over here, why did it start to rally? Now that could be, I looked at a bunch of news articles. I tried to find out why this could be happening. It could be, number one, that we're still in a bull market. Or, now if that's the case, that's not good for the price of silver. But the more likely case is actually that we are not in a bull market and we're still in a bear market after the starting of this bear market here. This is just a bear market rally, and it's actually going to start going down. Now, if you look at the price charts, it actually kind of fits that theory, that assumption, because look here, we see that these candles, they're breaking trend over here, and that's been happening quite a bit. But these, when it breaks trend over here, this is basically just an indicator, oh, it's short-term reversal, continuation of trend. But here, for the past 4 days, basically, it's just been stagnant. It's just been not really moving anywhere, except I guess you could say on Friday it did move a bit, but for the most part it's just been stagnant. And with that stagnation, we also see a MACD cross here. We see the MACD line cross below its moving average line, and we see that it's probably an indication of a bearish reversal pattern, which means the continuation of the bear market that started in 2018 October. So that could mean that if we look at the silver chart here, we could see, as we saw in 2008, we saw that at the beginning of a recession, silver didn't do so well. It went down quite a bit. Same here. Silver isn't doing too well right now. It's going down quite a bit. In fact, maybe even we could say that it's the recession. If it did start over here, we could say that it's already experienced that downward thrust. We can already say that it experienced that downward sell-off, and that it's starting its bull market rally right now. So, which means that it's a really good time to buy silver now and in the next few months, because if we do see a recession, probably going to see a massive spike in silver, and as well, we're going to see an even bigger spike in gold, because gold actually does a lot better than silver during recession periods. But the reason why I'm focusing this video on silver and not gold is because gold is actually a lot more expensive than silver. Per ounce, you're paying about I believe it's $1,300 right now, almost $1,300. That's US dollars. I'm living in Canada, which is about $1,800 Canadian, which is a lot more expensive than silver, which is about $15 US dollars an ounce. So that's about $20 Canadian. So for all of you guys out there who don't have a ton of money and you're still wanting to retain your wealth during a recession, I would say it's a very good idea in the next few weeks to just watch the price of silver, see if it has any other bullish momentum indicators, and basically just buy in, because I believe that it's definitely going to rally in 2019 and through 2020, probably even the next year as well, because a lot of economists are actually saying that there's going to be a recession for sure, and at least in the next 2 years, which means it's a very good indicator to buy silver and to buy gold if you can afford it. So that's it for this video, guys. If you found it at all helpful, if you're going to buy some silver now, I know I bought at least a few ounces of silver just in the past couple weeks, then by all means leave a like below, and please subscribe if you want to see any more videos like this, or any more videos just about investing in general. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you in the next video.